Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I just stumbled over this article, this piece of news that is just like a few minutes old, and it was provided to me also by a friend of mine, and I thank you very much for that. And that is South Korean president declares emergency martial law. Yoon Suk-yeol has accused the opposition of engaging in anti-state activities and plotting a rebellion. This is really hot news here. The martial law is aimed at eradicating pro-North Korean forces and to protect the constitutional order of freedom, he insisted. So, it says anti-state activities, has been preparing a rebellion. Okay. We are told that South Korea is a free country, is a democratic country, with freedom of speech is respected, democracy, like us. It's part of the free world. If they can do this, these guys can do this. Remember the Reichstag burning event, remember? It was the Reichstag, I think it was in January or January, I think it was 1933, if I remember correctly, or February, that area. When the Reichstag in Germany caught fire. And then that bad dude called Adolf showed up and said, guys, we're going to protect you and our folk, and we're going to ban all other parties. And we're going to institute something called like a, Führership. Let's make it that way. And he said it. He said the communists, the Steins, together with Soviet Union, they try to destabilize our great nation. Not the French nation, the Deutsche Volk. So, Nationen, right? So, according to that, based on that, they started to things up. Which is, give me your weapons, maybe burn this, maybe do that, right? So that Germany was a democratic country at that time. Remember those bad dudes over there that they got elected in office. Adolf was not just grabbed and, no, his party got what, 33% of the vote. And then he formed a government, and he was by Hindenburg, the president, he was appointed as the chancellor. Herrn Adolf, wasn't that? Doesn't sound familiar? So if you think that this never happened, I think what's going on in South Korea is this. When you can't control the population anymore, then you defend the population from an outside threat. Remember who said this? Many people. But in my head, it was when I read this book right here by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Don't come, meow meow, what are you doing? I bought this in 2004. And somewhere at the end, I put a little note where is right here Goering. Not on my. So at page 194 in this book, it's right here. And I said Goering, that's what I do. I write, usually I write things and I underline. It says here, right. These elected governments used the provocation of terrorist attacks, continuous wars, and invocations of patriotism and homeland security to privatize the commons, tame the praise, muzzle criticism by opponents, and turn government over to corporate control, according to Robert F. Kennedy. And I'm quoting, "It is always a simple matter to drag the people along," end quote, noted Hitler's sidekick Hermann Goering. And I'm quoting, "Whether it is a democracy or a fascist dictatorship or a parliament or a communist dictatorship. Voice or no voice, the people can always be brought to the bidding of the leaders. That is easy. All you have to do is tell them they are being attacked and denounce the peacemakers for lack of patriotism and exposing the country to danger. It works the same in any country. Why? Psychology. That's what it is. Human being, human nature. So I suspect that this is a drill to tenderize the American population, the free world population. Why? Because the far right, the boogeyman, the North Koreans, in the case of the South Koreans, are going to rock our boat. Therefore, we can't beat them on the voting ballot booth. We're gonna beat them in a different way. Not with the electronic voting machines. No. We're gonna do it the same way. So these guys here might say emergency, martial law. Why? It's not gonna be necessarily the Russians, because they can claim it's an imminent threat coming from Russia. The US intelligence services could tell you that. They told you a lie about Saddam Hussein's weapons of mass destruction. So do you think they will not say that? They told you about the COVID thing. They said, oh my God. And what did they do? They closed the country. They instituted mandates. Your freedoms, liberties were suspended. By whom? By other people. So that tells you some people are really in control of your lives. You like it or not. Yes, the social contract. Where's the social contract? Right here in front of you. I don't subscribe to this. A lot of tweaks, not tweaks, maybe and start over needs to be done. So these guys can say, well, it's the white extremism. And we have to do it. And we're going to do it until we cleanse the society for you, to keep you safe. The weaker segment of the population, the coward segment of the population needs to be protected. They call it here, the less fortunate segment of the population. Well, what can you do? Talk to your creator if you're so, unfortunate. Anyway, so what do we have here? I think that could happen here. In Germany, I suspect that the alternative for Deutschland will be just kicked in the balls, which is going to be made illegal. The party will just be banned. Why? To protect you and the Constitution. That was written by, let's see if you know. Do you know who wrote the German Constitution after they snipped the big balls of Germany in 1945? I know, bad balls, but still big. It was written by the Germans. Yeah, by the Germans. And those Germans, after they wrote it, they looked at the American Constitution for, copying. But they missed a few things, like freedom of speech, and they missed the right to bear and carry arms. Somehow they said, you don't need that. Well, if these freedoms, these rights are coming from the Creator, how in the hell the Germans decided that they are not rights? So how could, if these rights are from the Creator, how come the Germans miss them? There's a Christian country over there, isn't it? Judeo-Christian. Again, lie. So, these guys wrote it and then they gave it to the Americans to... Right? Baby doll, you change this. All right. And you this, and this, and that. You see how many underlines I have over there? Just a random thing. So that's what they did, and they gave it back to the Herren and Frauen. And the Germans did, okay, what do you need? I just crossed over what you wanted. And they knew better. So the constitution of the Deutsche Republik, Federation, whatever you want to call it, it's written by those guys because they said you can do this, you can't do this, change that. The same with the Japanese constitution. So that could happen in the free world. North Korea is not a free world. South Korea it is. But hey, martial law. What do you think the South Koreans will do? I tell you what they will do. Like the American, the land of the free and the brave, the home of the brave, did with the coronavirus. That's exactly what they will do. If you want, and that was the drill by the guys to see how we are going to react. And we react weekly. Not weekly every week, like weak, being weak. So again, think about it. And this is just an example. And that will be used as a precedent by these baboons. Why? Who wants to relinquish, is that how it is, or leave power? Who wants to do that? Unless you're weak or really you have values. You have principles. You have virtues. Really, then you say, you know what? This is the process. I lost. Thank you very much. Good luck. Make whatever country great and so on. People don't. They look for this kind of ways to stay in power as much as we allow them. We allow them. So great job. We have a threat. They told us. told the South Koreans. And what the South Koreans going to do? The population. What is it going to do? If the government says, according to the intelligence service and all that, what are they going to do? Say something now. It's martial law. You're going to have curfew. That is, after 5 o'clock, you're out. If you're on the street, well, we have army over there. That's a curfew. That's a martial law. Emergency. Do I think it's coming here? If these guys lose the power, and I'm not talking about Trump or the Bidens, these are the same guys for the same team. They play for the same team, and that team ain't our team. That's a problem. So when these guys are going to lose the power, the control over us, I have no doubt that they will go to that point. In the same way, remember, they told the Japanese and the Germans during the Second World War, here, citizens, they round them up, they closed it in Michigan, in Frankenmuth. It was surrounded, it was how do you call this, you couldn't go out in, I can't remember how it's called. I'm sorry. The Japanese were brought in internment camps, concentration camps. Well, they were not abused or anything, but still, how about your rights? You have rights or you don't have rights. The government is there to protect your rights, not to tell you when you have and when you not. But hey, this is a constitution. What these guys in South Korea did was legal, perfect legal. Now, is there evidence? I don't know. What I'm saying, I think it's just a drill. For these guys who say, pam, 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 and I guarantee you that the media operatives in the United States of America, in the free world, will use this as an example, and maybe, they will defend, this move. They will not say, no, what the hell? No, they will say, well, if it's protecting you, wear a mask. Protecting you, take this. Protecting you, stay home in a basement. Protecting you, don't say this much. Protecting you, don't go and ride your bike. Don't go on the beach. Don't do anything until we tell you. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We're getting there. It's gonna be a mess. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.